Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is where it all began. Doesn't look like much at the moment because my dad's turned it into a storage room, but this used to be my gym, my home gym. So I'm sorry this video is not filmed in a more luxurious background or setting, but this actually means quite a lot to me because this is kind of where it all started for me with my training. I think I was literally about 17 years old. I think that was the age when I was like kind of started getting interested in the whole bodybuilding thing, and I wanted to change my physique and look a certain way. And one of the first things, I had no idea what I was doing when it came to training. I wasn't even a member of a gym. In fact, I don't think I was very comfortable with going to a gym. For some reason, I just had this fascination of having my own gym, or just being able to train whenever I wanted and have it pretty much in my garage, like on my doorstep. So what I did, 17 years old, I was still at school, didn't really have any money coming in. But during the summer months, I hustled, I got a bit of money together, and I was able to buy some basic forms of equipment. So I was able to got this adjustable bench, which was quite expensive. I got off eBay. I think it was about 150 quid, 150 pounds. And then I got a load of adjustable dumbbells, like these 5 kilos, along with, this is about 20 kilos, some plate adjustable dumbbells. So that was pretty much the basics, along with that pull-up bar drilled onto the wall. And then the good thing about this bench, obviously, when it goes all the way up, and it goes all the way down to a decline setting. So with the equipment that I had, I could pretty much do everything I need to do. I could do the vertical pulling movement with the pull-up bar, I could do the overhead press, I could do horizontal push, and then horizontal pull. I didn't actually have a barbell, so obviously doing squats with barbells or deadlifts wasn't happening, but I was able, okay, I'm not going to lie, I didn't even train legs at that point, didn't even care, but I was able to cover pretty much everything and at least smash my upper body from all angles. So imagine all this crap isn't here. I put this carpet down. It's a crappy little barbell there, but that was my brother's. Can't lift much weight that. We've got all the plates here, obviously. Yes. And I'd say the whole setup probably wouldn't cost more than £200. And you're thinking, this is for me. This is for a male who wanted the dumbbells to go up to about 40 kilos. Most people don't need that, especially if you're a female. It's funny as well, every time I come back, I just reminisce to, the hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours that I spent in here, just by myself, with my music, just going at it, every single day. And, I remember a lot of times people would be out drinking, partying, or, socializing, and I would just kind of be like, no, you know what, I just want to work out. And, sometimes it'd be like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and I'd just be like, no, I'm going to work out. And I'd just literally zone out. It was like my meditation. I just love it in here. I used to get in the zone. And I remember my dad, he was like, why are you always going to the gym? You're always in there. Why are you spending so much time in there? And obviously, for people who don't go to the gym or kind of like looking to sculpt their body, whatever, they're just not going to understand. They've never experienced it before. It's something completely unique to those people who, look to build their physique. They do it for particular reasons which other people don't understand. But the thing is, my dad was always pretty supportive. I remember there was this one time, I think we were going, it was the day before we were going to Portugal. It was like 2 days before we were going to Portugal. And I was doing shoulders, and the next day I had this like really bad sore throat, like there was like a bit of a bulge, like just here. And as I was telling my dad about it, I was like, I've got this weird bulge here. And then he was like, that's from lifting weights. It's from lifting all those weights. You're pushing yourself too hard. You're going to damage your body doing what you're doing. And I was like, what the hell? I don't remember straining anything. I did nothing out of the ordinary. I didn't feel anything hurt. But I had this big, massive bulge here. So anyway, it got worse, and went to the doctors with my dad. And the doctor said, you've got the mumps. And I was like, the mumps? And then he was like, and obviously explained what it was. It had nothing to do with lifting weights or anything. And I was like to my dad, I told you it had nothing to do with the weights. And he said, yeah, I'm sorry. And it was funny as well, because the doctor then went on about the mumps, and I was like, is it dangerous? Can it do anything? And he said, oh, you know, it should be fine, but there is a risk that you might become infertile. And I was just like, what? Won't be able to have any kids? And I got proper freaked out. Like, I started, like, just so many thoughts running through my head, and I started to feel lightheaded. I said to my dad, I was like, Dad, I'm going to pass out. My dad was like, what? The doctor was like, what? And I was like, yeah. So then, like, I sat on the bed and I was like, I'm just going to have to lie down for a bit. And then I was just out cold. Just because I thought I wasn't going to have any kids. And obviously, that it went away, and sperm is fine. The Thurston sperm is good. But I thought I'd share that story with you. So when I started training, when I first got the equipment together, I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of played about with it here and there, but it wasn't until I went to university for my first year, and that was when I turned 18 years old, and I became friends with these guys who used to go to the gym on a regular basis. They were older than me, and they pretty much taught me the basic kind of bodybuilding split. So we basically smashed chest on chest day. We did shoulders on one day, we did back on one day, and we did arms on another day, and then every now and then we do legs. But again, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really bother with training my legs back then. So every time I came back home from university, I came to Leeds and I was like, I don't want to sign up to a gym. And a lot of gyms wouldn't let you sign up for like 1 month. They were proper awkward about it. Even if you just wanted to go for like a couple of days, you have to like book in an induction or something. This was a time before all the the chain gyms came about. So I was like, you know what, I just want to go home and I want to still be able to train. So the best thing was, because I already had this setup in place, I was actually able to train whenever I wanted, and that's when I continued to do the same sort of split, which was hammering chest, hammering shoulders, hammering back, hammering arms, and it worked for me. I mean, my progress could have been a lot quicker had I known what I know now, but back then, it was working, and I was able to gradually put on size, and I continued to do that throughout university. So for 3 years, whilst I was there, obviously I was a member of a gym when I was up in Newcastle, but every time I came back for the holidays, which would be Christmas, Easter, summer, and then maybe half term or something, that was pretty much it. I'd come back here and I was able to carry on my training and didn't have to faff on with signing up to any other gyms or anything like that. One thing I'd say when you're using these plate adjustable dumbbells, okay, they have a certain weight which they can handle. There'll be a warning on the box that says do not lift heavier than this weight. Obviously, I'm a reckless man living in danger. All I wanted to do was just lift as heavy as I could. So when it came to doing like the dumbbell bench press or like the one arm row, I'll get these. See this? These plates are 5, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, it's 20 on here. What I would do is then I would put a further 4 plates on, so it was about 40 kilos. Now, that was all fine for a while, until one point, I remember I was doing like an overhead press, and the clip I was using was like, it was pretty broken. Anyway, I was doing this dumbbell press, and it wasn't at the top, thankfully, but as I pushed up and I came down, the clip snapped, and then the weight just went, and all these plates went flying. So if that had been above my head, I would have had these 5 kilo plates smashing on my head. So don't lift heavier than you should with these things, because they're not designed to do it. Maybe you can get away with it with a one arm row, but if you're putting anything over your head, you're going to injure yourself. So you've only got yourself to blame if you're doing that. You can't blame the manufacturer because they told you so. So I always get a load of people ask me, what exercises can you do at home to get in shape, burn calories, or put on size. If it comes to putting on size, you want to build muscle, you need to be able to overload the muscle. So if you're just going around with these freaking like 2 kilogram, 3 kilogram dumbbells, you may see, particularly for females, you might see a little bit of improvement or more definition as you start off with, but eventually your body's going to adapt very quickly to that, and in order to increase that size and definition, you'll need to get heavier weights. So instead of buying loads of sets of dumbbells, which can be very expensive, I've got my own gym and it was thousands, especially if you're going all the way up to 50. Just get yourself these adjustable plates. All you need is one dumbbell. You can buy all the different plates. You can go up to, I think these ones actually went up to 40 kilograms. But for females, obviously you don't need to buy as many. For males, you probably need to buy a little bit more. So I definitely advise getting them. I would also advise getting a pull-up bar, because if you just have bench and a dumbbells, it's going to be very difficult to replicate the overhead pulling movement, which is going to stimulate your lats. You can do it, doing a standing bent over row in this position, you know, to try and target the back in that way. But you know, I would really advise getting a pull-up bar. It's only like £30 or less or more, depending on the how fancy it is. But you want to get good at doing pull-ups. Even if you've sucked all your life at doing pull-ups, the only way you get better at doing them is practice. You know, the amount of people that say, "Oh, I'm really rubbish at doing pull-ups," and I'm like, "Oh, so how often do you practice?" And they're like, "Well, I don't really," or they say like once a week. And I'm like, if you want to get good at something, you have to do it more than once a week. Yeah, you can't expect to become amazing at something if you've never given it a good shot. You know, with me, I remember the first time I went to the gym, I saw someone do a wide grip pull-up. I was like, I want to be able to do that. So I got on it and I was like, I couldn't even do one. And I was like, well, I want to be able to do at least 10 of them. So every time I went to the gym, I just practiced. So I would practice it like 5 times a week. And I would slowly, you know, instead of doing 1 rep, I'd do 2 reps, then maybe 3 reps, then 4. And it would slowly creep up to the point where I could do 10. And I was pretty chuffed with myself, but it just goes to show you've got to practice, practice, practice. Hey everyone, this is my brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you ever use this?
No.
Why?
Because I've got a gym.
Which gym do you go to?
The village.
Oh, the village. Are you actually going to do a workout?
No.
Show us how it's done.
Just getting the holiday bod on.
Getting the pump for the holiday. We're off to the Algarve tomorrow. Not bad. He's like his brother. Yeah. I taught him everything he knows.